Hey everyone, welcome back. My name's Alicia and today I'm going to give you my 35 to 36 week pregnancy update. Today I'm 36 weeks and let's see, 5 days? 5 days pregnant. It's the day after Thanksgiving and this last couple weeks I haven't been feeling too great, so I've decided to kind of try a new way of vlogging and just getting used to the camera so that hopefully we can film while giving birth. Some things have changed as of the last update, and this could potentially be my last pregnancy update. Not to cause any alarm, but things are progressing with me, and so we don't really know what's gonna happen. Things could change in a drop of a hat by next week. So I just wanted to kind of get on here and share with you just a bunch of pregnancy symptoms that I haven't really talked about because other things have been going on. I'm going to explain how things have changed since the last update and my views on things, and just from how I'm feeling, you know, when, I don't know, when you find out some news that you're just not really sure about, at least for me, I think about it and I take the time to really kind of just research, really kind of just see how I'm feeling, what, you know, is right for me. And again, it's not the same for everybody, and everybody is in different places. They, you know, just have the opportunity to make different decisions, have different care, all kinds of things. So, my arm is tired from holding this camera. Real quick, as I mentioned in the last update, I was on the watch for preeclampsia. And so again, my tests came back as, okay, so since the last update, I have done 2 24-hour urine tests, and the first one came back pretty low with, like, the range was 90. I don't really know exactly, she just said it was 90. And I'm guessing that's the protein ratio. And then this last time it was like 164. So it says that it is definitely progressing. Things are progressing, but kind of slowly. My heart, or my blood pressure, has also been just kind of on the fritz. It's been pretty high. I don't feel too different. So I don't know, if you've had preeclampsia and you're going through this right now, I'm just curious if you have severe symptoms, or if you're kind of like me where it's just kind of caught you by surprise, because it's definitely it's weird. It's like I know that I'm tired, I'm exhausted, I'm 36 weeks pregnant. I just feel like that's probably why. But there's, you know, again, my blood pressure is just, it's high. And it's not alarmingly high yet, but it is definitely higher than it's ever been, and it's high for a pregnancy. So, and it's actually my diastolic, I think that's how you pronounce it, the bottom number, that is rising and that is pretty high. So again, I am just kind of on the watch, but I did message my midwives last week and I kind of let them know what my blood pressure was. They sent me home with a cuff to self-monitor. And when I wrote her, she said, you know, can you please come in right away? So I went in that day, which was last Thursday, and they hooked me up to a stress test for the baby so they could monitor him and his heartbeat, and everything with him looks really good, so no alarm there. His heartbeat is strong, he is active. We did just get another ultrasound. I thought that my ultrasound 2 weeks ago was just a quick ultrasound. I thought that would be my last one, but just the way that things have been going, they wanted me to have another one. So I have. And I haven't gotten those results back yet, and the technician was kind of quiet, which was a little bit strange, but I did feel baby move a lot, and that was the point of the ultrasound. The ultrasound, I don't remember what it was called, but it was basically to see how much baby's moving and to make sure that he's moving a considerable amount. And I do feel him. I feel like he is definitely moving a lot. So with that being said, after that last appointment, after we hooked up the baby to the monitor and we also checked my blood pressure, we compared it to the one that I took at home and them doing it manually. And my blood pressure was high. I think it was 150/98. So again, that was the first time my systolic number, the top number, was really high, at least for manually. Usually it's like the high 40s right now. And my diastolic has definitely been above the 100s, so it's just high. She did give me my options, and she basically let me know that I would probably be transferring care. So at this point, I have an appointment set up for next week where I will go and see, I'm going to a midwife clinic up in Denver where they also have OBGYNs on staff. I believe that the birth that I will have will be in a hospital. And so again, in the last like week or so, I've been kind of just, you know, getting my mind wrapped around that, because as you know from the last update, that was not my plan. And I didn't want to come off wrong. I was watching my video and I kind of just wanted to clarify that I am not against acute care, and I'm not against hospitals. I'm not against any of that. It's just I've had so many experiences, probably more than the average bear. My midwife recommended me up to Denver, which is really great. And so what will happen is I'm looking at an induction for next week, or possibly the following week, just as soon as I hit 37 weeks. Between 37 and 39 is when they said that it'll probably happen. So, you know, we'll see. I'm gonna try to hold this baby in as long as I can. I've kicked it up to doing acupuncture 3 times a week, which has been amazing. It's really relaxing, and I don't know, it's just, I feel my body kind of getting some self-care, which is something that when you're pregnant, it's just hard to do. You just are focusing on so much, and most of it, you're just trying to get through the day, let's be real. But acupuncture has been helping. I've been eating a lot of food. I won't lie that some days are just rough and I just can't eat a lot. Like, I'm just not hungry. But I have been eating lots more meat and eggs. And you can tell I'm getting really puffy. I don't know how I feel about this diet. I mean, for now it is helping. For now it is definitely keeping my blood pressure low, or just not progressing super fast. But this diet has been difficult. Yesterday was the first time we made a turkey in 3 or 4 years. Like, I don't cook the turkey when I host Thanksgiving. Christian's aunt does. And this year we canceled plans. We just had a really low-key, me and Christian only Thanksgiving, which was really special, because I feel like it is probably gonna be our last holiday together as a twosome. And you know, we didn't go crazy with cooking. I just cooked a couple side dishes, and I did try to prepare turkey. And that was quite a challenge. That was not just the cooking part of it, but the fact, like, just touching the dead animal was something that I haven't done in quite a long time. Like, we just don't really usually have a lot of meat in the house. So anyways, all this to say that I have been thinking about this, and we'll see kind of how it goes, but I will probably go back to being plant-based, at least, you know, on rotation for a long time, because, or after baby's born, because I just don't feel good eating all of this animal meat and dairy, and yeah, it's been hard. So, you know, it's a learning experience, and I'm not against trying things. You know, I am that privileged. I have the, you know, blessing of having food on my table, a roof over my head. I understand that, and I am super grateful for that. And I just think that, you know, we need to listen to our bodies in a way that sometimes can be hard. Sometimes, you know, you really do want, at least for me, I definitely crave sweets, chocolate, and, you know, we had tapioca last night. Oh, so good. But those things I know are also really not good for me. So sugar and the rest, I think within moderation is fine. But right now, again, as I mentioned, I'm on this diet called the brewer diet, and it is like 100 grams of protein a day, which if you're an athlete, you know, going back to being an athlete, that's like what I was eating when I was in full training. And let me tell you, I am not in training right now. I can hardly walk 2 or 3 blocks without feeling like I'm gonna pass out. So for whatever that's worth, like, things, you know, it's just an ebb and flow. Like, your body just kind of goes through these phases, and yeah. Anyways, I don't label myself as any particular kind of dietary person. I have been vegan, I have done vegetarian, I have done different things. So I'm just learning. I feel like I'm just experimenting, and you know, that's just kind of what life is about. You know, if you want to ignore the fact that you don't feel well, that's on you. That's totally cool. Boo boo, you do you. But for me, like, I don't want to live in, even just as a hypothyroid person, it's just really sucky. So if you have thyroid issues, you know what I'm talking about. If you have other kind of chronic issues, you get it. It's just sucky. And it's not easy to make changes, especially when you have friends and family that think otherwise. But at the end of the day, who cares what they think? It's about you and your body. So I'm here to remind you of that. And so, okay, back to baby. And let's talk about this induction. I have not, let me put this on a stand because it's getting really heavy. Okay. I have, I'm gonna put it down because my hands are getting tired. I hadn't even really known what an induction was until the last like week or so. Because one of my girlfriends, she is actually being induced this week with her twins. And so I have done a little bit more research, and all my prayers and thoughts and love are with her, because from what I've read and what I hear, it's just a really long process. And so if you have been induced and you've had a positive story, I would love for you to share, because I would just love to hear more about it. I love to connect with people and kind of just hear their personal experiences. Just the basic idea is that they will give me a medicine called Pitocin, which is just a synthetic form of oxytocin, which helps the body go into labor. And so with that, you can be in labor for quite some time. And with that being, wrap my mind around lots of different things, like for example, epidurals. And I know, again, the last time I air quoted and I said I wanted to do things naturally. And you know, I've had to really kind of meditate on that and think about it, because if I get induced and I'm in labor for 48 plus hours, just to throw that out there, that's a long time. My body is already struggling at the moment, just as far as holding on to my strength and endurance. And so I don't know what I will feel like in those moments. And I really believe that, again, as I said, I don't judge any type of birth, as far as all birth is beautiful. And I think that there is such a stigma around epidurals. And, you know, I've talked to mamas who, all across, I've talked to moms who have had the epidural, and I could tell that they kind of feel less than, even though I don't know why they shouldn't. I've talked to moms who, you know, feel like they are the rock star of the world because they didn't have an epidural. I've talked to moms who wanted an epidural but went in and things moved too quickly and they didn't have the chance to have an epidural. So, you know, I know that there's a stigma around this, and I know that every woman will feel differently about their birth and about how they give birth. But I hope that like someday we can collectively get to the point where we're not judging each other for however labor happens. Like, that's one thing that's kind of blown my mind through this whole process, is just how just how crazy the opinions are, just how crazy the stigmas are, you know, like people, like I understand that if you want to have, like for me, like I wanted to have a natural birth, I want to have a natural birth. There is still a really small chance that I could have a natural birth, but at this point, I mean, and again, I take that back, not a natural birth. There's still a chance, a good chance to have a birth, a vaginal birth without an epidural. And if that's the case, then I did have my quote natural birth. The way that things are playing out is that I will probably get induced, and if things don't progress because baby is still just not ready to come, you know, babies come when they're ready to come. I'm on his time. So whenever he decides to come is when I will give birth. And for whatever reason, that can cause complications. That can, you know, that can make it so that I, again, at 48 to 72 hours, I could be so exhausted that I'm like, screw this, like just cut me open, take the baby out. by 48 hours, by 24 hours, who knows what, I could be begging for an epidural just because of the pain and the forcefulness of trying to get the baby out. That could really suck. Like, I'm just not, I'm not downplaying this. Like, I know that just trying to be realistic and to accept that anything could happen. And be open-minded to it, because I think, and I'm not that surprised, I think it's a little bit easier for me because my whole life I've definitely had strong opinions on certain things, and I have learned along the way that, you know, that's just not how it goes. Most of the time, all the time, I'm not in control. I can have my hopes and dreams and desires, and I can work towards those, but at the end of the day, God's plan and the way that He has, you know, it figured out for me, that's what's gonna happen. So, part of it is acceptance and knowing and just being open about it. So I'm being open and just saying that, like, I don't know, things are changing, and I have given myself the grace to just be okay with if things take a turn and I need medicine, if I need to have a C-section, all these things, nothing is wrong. Yeah, nothing about it is wrong. It's just not what I had planned. So just coming to terms with that, I know that there are lots of women that just regret the way that things went down, and that's the one thing that I don't want of anything. Like, if anything happens, like, again, God forbid the worst situation happens, I'm not even gonna just talk about it, but we know what that would be. No matter how baby comes into this world, no matter how baby and mom we give birth, I feel like I want to honor that. And so I am ready for it. Even if it's a cesarean, even if it's whatever, I know that I'm gonna be so grateful to have this baby in my arms, and I'm so excited. I'm gonna get emotional. Yeah. Now I know why YouTubers get lighting, because no matter how good I do my brows in every video, they look off, and it drives me crazy. But I can't do lighting right now. That's the last thing, that's the furthest thing from my mind at the moment. But this lighting it's okay. Nah, it still looks off, but I swear my brows are filled in to be symmetrical too, but it doesn't look like it. Okay, so some things that have changed and some things that I want to talk about as far as symptoms and things that I haven't talked about because I just had other stuff going on, little things. It was the first day in like probably about 2 or 3 weeks that I've thrown up. So the nausea has gone down, but today for some reason, probably because I was filming, I just threw up all my breakfast, which was not fun. But you know, I ate really good yesterday, so that's fine. I'm not stressing too bad. I feel okay. Something that I've noticed that I've been a little bit weird is that I've been drooling. So at night I've been drooling. I've just been like waking up in kind of these little like puddles of like drool on my pillow, which is weird. But that's something I've noticed that I don't feel like a lot of people talk about. Also, in the last couple days, I've had what I feel like is lightning crotch. I feel like, I don't even know how to explain it. I feel like baby is taking like a remote control and just like zapping me, and it's like all of a sudden I just can't even move for a quick second, and it's like, holy crap, that was intense. Yeah, that's been quite lovely. If you've ever had lightning crotch, woo! I'm waking up at about every 2.5 hours, which is again better than an hour. And let's see what else. All movements are pretty regular. I am definitely puffy. And I've gained, let's see, I'm probably up to like 170, 172. Definitely have brain fog. Like, I can hardly remember what I ate for breakfast. That's not really new. I've always kind of been like that, a little bit spacey, but definitely struggling to remember other things more. Sense of smell has definitely been intense. I know that's like a common pregnancy symptom, but with all this COVID stuff going on, it's really nice to know that like I can smell. My sense of smell is not going anywhere. Motivation, my motivation has been pretty bad. Like, I just don't, we still have a lot, not a lot, excuse me. we still have some stuff to do at the baby's room, and I just have no motivation. I feel like most people should be nesting, and so then I go through this cycle of like I'm hard on myself, like I need to get this done, but at the same time, like I'm just really exhausted, so I'm just not really doing a whole lot. Being okay with that. Let's see. The house is a mess. That's nothing, like I've always shared, our house is always a mess. I will never have one of those perfect Instagram, YouTube homes. Maybe that's the goal, but let's be real. Life is just messy and busy. I think that's it for now. I'm gonna wrap this video up. It has gotten a little bit long, but again, I don't really know what next week is gonna bring. I don't know what I'm gonna be able to film. I don't know what's gonna happen. So I just wanted to give you an update and let you know that yes, things are changing and I'm just rolling with it. Thank you so much for watching. I will insert a clip of my 36-week belly. And again, if you have any stories about induction, if they are positive stories, I would love to hear them. Share them in the comments. And if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. If you hit the bell notification, you'll get notified as soon as the video goes up. So if I do a labor vlog, then as soon as the video goes live, you guys will be notified, and yeah, that'll be really great. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time, guys. Bye.
Everything about it.